Good morning. I'm Andrea Ooten, the President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Bluegrass, and I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to be with us this morning. It is a great honor to stand up here today alongside some of Lexington's finest leaders to kick off the 60th anniversary of our agency in Central Kentucky. Before we get started with our speakers for today, I want to recognize many of our community partners that have joined us. Please forgive me if I leave anyone out. Joining us in celebration today, we have several representatives from the United Way of the Bluegrass, including Bill Farmer, President and CEO, Roy Woods, Vice President of Community Engagement Initiatives, and Katie Williams, Vice President of Marketing and Communications. We also have Laura Hatfield, Executive Director of the Partners for Youth Foundation, Commissioner of Social Work Chris Ford, Miranda Scully with Fayette County Public Schools Family and Community Engagement Office, Daryl Terry, Market President for Kentucky Bank, John Chiocci and Will Puckett from PNC Bank, Stephanie Spires representing the 100 Women Foundation, Council members Richard Maloney, Jennifer Sketchfield, Kathy Ploman, Angela Evans, and James Brown. We also have some of our current and past board members of Big Brothers Big Sisters with us today: Adam Smith, Hillary Angelucci, Paul Chartier, and Greg Powell. When I started as the president and CEO in the fall of last year, our board and staff began many great conversations about how we could continue to serve the children in our community and grow our services. Repeatedly, that conversation came back to how do we recruit more volunteers to support our young people? And similarly, how do we grow our organization's capacity to serve the 200 plus children that are already on our waiting list? The answer resoundingly comes back to the community. Our program has existed for 60 years because of a community that comes together to answer the call when our young people need help. Our organization has been built with community leaders and volunteers who do not give up on young people, but strengthen them. Leaders and volunteers who know that giving their time and support can change a child's life for the better forever. As we enter the 60th anniversary year, we are very excited about several new initiatives that are going to be announced today. And we thank the many partners that have helped us to reach this important milestone and who are perhaps more than ever now continuing to invest in our agency. It takes the entire community to support one another, and I challenge each of you to consider how you might help with these efforts, whether it's as a volunteer, big brother, or a big sister, whether it's as a donor or just an advocate for mentoring. We currently have 200 children waiting on our waiting list that need your help. I hope that you might help us serve them. I would now like to hand the microphone over to one of our great leaders and community partners, a person who has served on our board and for many years and recently served as Commerce Lexington's board chair. He can speak to the importance of mentoring for our entire community. This man needs no introduction, Mr. Alan Stein.
Thank you, Andrea. Good morning, everyone. As the past chair of Commerce Lexington, I would like you all to note the wonderful weather we have here in Fayette County. Mayor, it's all for you. Oh, yeah. I am Alan Stein, and I am a longtime board member of Big Brothers Big Sisters and served as a big brother many, many years ago. I can tell you that my little brother is now a major general in the Air Force, and he's well past 40 years old. So you do that math, I will refrain from that. I really am proud to be a part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Bluegrass because, in a word, I find our mission to be transformative. We are able in Big Brothers and Big Sisters to find and help those children in our community who otherwise might fall through the cracks. Those children at risk get the opportunity to become successful, to be mentored by successful people, and to be on the right path. The alternative to that, as you might imagine, is the criminal justice system, remediation in education, and all sorts of things that cost us as a society and an economy an awful lot of money down the road. So it's good business to support Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We have proven prevention programs, and it reduces juvenile crime, delinquency, substance abuse. It increases school performance and attendance there, and it decreases the likelihood of children committing violent acts, something about which we all have great community interest. So at this time, I would like to turn the microphone over to another one of our longtime board members, a great supporter of Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the person who will be chairing the 60th anniversary, Councilman at Large Kevin Stinnett.
I'm always behind you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. I'm glad to know you were around 60 years ago when we started this chapter. And then welcome, everyone. You know, as I look around the room, I can look at everybody and think everyone in here had a mentor at some time in their life, whether it be through Big Brothers Big Sisters or someone else in the community that helped them get where they are today. And that's why Big Brothers Big Sisters, 60 years ago, they founded the Lexington chapter, and that's why it's been so crucial and instrumental in our community in making sure young men and women have someone they too can look up to, like we all had one day. 25 years ago, I started in Big Brothers Big Sisters as a big brother, and then I became a board member. And then I realized the impact not only did I was able to have on the organization, but what the organization had on me. I wouldn't be here today, honestly, without the Big Brothers Big Sisters program and being able to see what we can do to help young people. It was one of my motivations to run for city council. I want to thank my city council colleagues for supporting the mentoring program within LFUCG, and Laura Hatfield and her department for helping make sure that's a big success over the next coming year. And I also want to thank United Way and Mr. Farmer for stepping up to the plate and making sure that the monies and the support we need to make sure our organization is successful is there when we need it. And also Dr. Caulk for being here, because we couldn't do it without Fayette County Public Schools, to be honest with you. They're a crucial member to our success, and I want to thank Fayette County Public Schools and Dr. Caulk for also being here. 25 years ago, I met a young man, 6 years old, in Big Brothers Big Sisters program. He was my little brother, Channing. He looked up at me with missing teeth and that big smile and wouldn't say a word to me, but just smiled. Now he's 27 years old, and he's taught me more than I can ever teach him, and he's a true steward of our organization. And I'll let him come up. Channing, will you come up and say a couple words about what it meant to him? And you can see he's a working man now, and he took time out of his busy schedule to be here. And if
how you doing? It was 1996. I remember being in my granny's living room, and this big old muscular guy just sitting on the chair, sucking my thumb. And my granny's like, "That's your big brother." I'm like, "Oh, okay." From that day, I couldn't really say much, and now to this day, I can't stop saying enough about Big Brothers and Big Sisters. It helped me out tremendously. Without Big Brothers and Big Sisters, ain't no telling where I'll be at. Without Kevin, there's no telling. He taught me a lot. Like, mentored me a whole lot, showed me a whole lot. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am today. So for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, I say thank you. And I donate money out of my check every time I get paid, because Big Sisters done so much for me in my life and showed me so much and kept me out of trouble. And I'm totally gratefully appreciate Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
thank you, man. Channing is just one of our many success stories. And as Andrea said earlier, we have 200 kids on our waiting list. We have a campaign we're kicking off today. 60 years in business, $600,000. It's $10,000 a year. It takes us $1,000 to bring on each child. That's 10 new children each year. 10 new children that could have a different path, just like Cece had. So if you'll join me in kicking off today, and anyone that can offer support, assistance, and help in making us reach our goal of $600,000. Again, 60 years in business, $10,000 a year for each one of those years. Thank you, and as we move forward, last but not least, I want to thank one additional person who made today possible, and that's Mayor Jim Gray, in leading the effort with LFUCG and taking the bold step in our community in making sure mentoring is a part of our community and a part of our LFUCG life. So Mayor Gray, thank you.
I tell you, now that's tough to follow both Kevin and CC. But good morning to everybody. This is a great example of crowding the winner's circle. Isn't that what you said, Alan? It's a great example of crowding the winner's circle. I want to thank our council members who are here and everyone who's here today. We're excited to be leading the way this 60th anniversary of Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're excited to be leading the way as a city in our City Mentors program. We hope that businesses will join us. You know, you don't have to be perfect. As Alan said, as Kevin said, you don't have to be perfect to be a good mentor. Really, it just means being there for young people. The time investment is really modest, but the community benefits are enormous. Now, some of you know this, that City Mentors here in Lexington is based on other programs in other cities. We're doing it for the first time here in Lexington, but it's been done in other places with great success. I'm really excited. Kevin already mentioned Laura Hatfield. Laura has done so much for our Partners for Youth program. She's incredible as a leader. She's enthusiastic, and she's got so much energy, and that's inspiration for others. And Partners for Youth, through Partners for Youth, Laura designed this program. City Mentors program allows employees to volunteer for up to 2 hours a week as a mentor with one of 4 agencies. That includes Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the Bluegrass. We've already talked about this, but 60 years, as Kevin said, being in business, that is such a big deal. Let's give Big Brothers and Big Sisters another hand of applause. I think in the system today, is this right, Andrew? More than 500 kids. That's a big deal. It's now my pleasure my honor to introduce our police chief, Mark Barnard. Mark has been such an encouragement to so many in our community, and it's not just in his role as police chief, but the role that he has in reaching out in so many ways. He's been a real encouragement following Chief Ronnie Baston, who is today our Public Safety Commissioner, following him in this role, but he's been a real encouragement and a real inspiration in dealing effectively in new ways, which is what we have to do with youth violence in our city, and giving kids a chance. So please join me in welcoming Chief Mark Barnard. Chief.
Well, congratulations to Big Brothers and Big Sisters for reaching this anniversary and continue to serve the children of our community. Every day our officers see young men and women in the community that are in desperate need of a positive role model. As adults, we owe it to our children and to our community to invest the time and energy helping them to realize their full potential. This is why, after we got a visit, the Lexington Police Department is very excited to begin a new program called Bigs in Blue, which encourages police officers to become big brothers and big sisters by volunteering for an hour a week as a mentor to a young person. Through this initiative, we hope that we can help move children, particularly young men, off of the waiting list and be giving them the positive influence that they need in their lives. 200 children currently on our waiting list in the size of Lexington. We should be able to fill that void quickly, hopefully. I personally have signed up and am going through the enrollment process now to become a Big in Blue. I encourage our officers from Lexington to do the same and challenge the adults in our community to also take the time to invest in a young person's life. Lexington needs mentorship. It takes an hour a week to serve in this program. That hour will make the difference of a lifetime. We've seen that testament this morning. So I encourage every organization, every business, every faith-based community to look down and say, do I have 1 hour to invest in a young man, young lady's life and to make a difference for the rest of their lives? I thank you all for the opportunity for the Lexington Police Department to participate, and I appreciate everyone up here that makes these programs work. Thank you.
One thing I didn't say earlier about him is that he always sets the example, and he just did, didn't he? Let's give him another hand applause. Thank you all. I'd now like to introduce our school superintendent, Manny Caulk. And as you all know, Manny has been praised for his work in creating a collaborative process to move the school district forward. Manny, I think that's what we have going here this morning. Big brothers, big sisters, the city, the police, and importantly, so importantly, the schools. Through your leadership, the collaborative process to move the district and our city forward through mentoring. Mr. Superintendent?
I want to say thank you, Mr. Mayor, and certainly congratulations once again to Big Brothers Big Sisters on its 60th anniversary. Well, I come to know the work of Big Brothers Big Sisters as I witnessed it firsthand. A close friend of mine had a big brother, and it's because of his big brother and others he was able to graduate career ready. He was able to understand that education was a pathway to a better life. And what did that mean for him? It helped him break the cycle. And what cycle am I talking about? The cycle of generational poverty. By having that big brother and others who invested in him, he became able to secure a skilled job, become a wonderful, productive member in society, and broke that cycle of poverty. And now he's able to give his children what his family couldn't provide to him. And so now, today, more than ever, we need you. We need big brothers, big sisters. We have students in our schools who need mentorship, who need a caring adult. And so I encourage you to get involved, to join and participate and become a big brother and big sister, to make a difference in the life of a child. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone again for being here today and just say a few more words. Through the collaborative efforts of our agency, the City of Lexington, the Lexington Police Department, Fayette County Public Schools, and a community full of willing volunteers, we can continue to serve children facing adversity and work toward our vision that all children achieve success in life. We hope that you'll consider volunteering, donating to our 60th anniversary campaign, or joining us at one of our upcoming fundraising events, and we'd be happy to take any questions that you all might have. Without hearing any, I guess we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Good job. Good job.